What up, Pittsburgh Steelers fans? Matty P here with another episode from Steelers Touchdown Under. 6 reactions from 60 minutes, the preseason game 2 against the Buffalo Bills. Steelers coming out on top 27-15 winners. All right, we're talking 6 reactions. We're going to talk all things offense. We're going to talk linebackers. We're going to talk Joey Porter Jr. We're going to talk how the Steelers are using defensive DBs. And we're going to talk about Gunnar Olszewski. And we're also going to talk about Connor Hayward. But let's crack into it. All right. First things, number one, great to be back with everyone. I am battling the last bits of COVID. It's great to be able to do a video. Hopefully I can make it through the video without coughing. Then I'll probably go into a coughing fit. But you're here to hear about Steelers, not to hear me complain about COVID. All right. So the offense. I thought about this after last week. Obviously, it was preseason game 1. So it's a very hard thing for me to say last week. But now we've seen it week 2. The offense is clinical, but it's really hard to say what the offense is going to be in 2023 because we just haven't seen enough of it. Now, you're going to go, hang on, we've seen 8 quarters of football. We have. We've not seen 8 quarters of football from Kenny Pickett in the offense. What we've seen has been fantastic. It's been clinical. They know how to score. I mean, the field position helped with the Freemuth touchdown. Pickens is getting the ball. A-Rob's helping Kenny Pickett when he's in trouble. Kenny Pickett's moving around as well. The line's helping Kenny Pickett. But we are a little bit as a ways off actually. And then Jaylen Warren looks really good off that running touchdown. But it's very hard to say what necessarily the offensive identity is. And I think they're going to be brought toward the back end of the year more of actually a passing team if weather permits. I think they're going to run the football a lot against the first 4 teams when they go against 49ers, Ravens, Cleveland, and Houston, which is really something you more see on the back end. But obviously they're going to be able to score points in the red zone. That's something that looks really good. And we'll talk about that more when we get to Connor Hayward. Linebackers. I actually think the linebackers look sorted. Elandon Roberts looked good. I thought that especially when he's wearing the cream dot, I wanted to see more from Holcomb. But if you look at Holcomb still played well. I just want to see a little bit more from him. But I'm talking about linebackers both outside and inside. So the inside guys, Cole Holcomb had a pass defense, a tackle for a loss. Mark Robinson played pretty well. He had 3 tackles on the day. Perales was in there. We talked a little about him last week. Roberts looked really good. Golden looked really good. Highsmith looked like he was picking up where he left off last year. We saw that a little bit last week as well. TJ was in the mix in the play there. He helped force a very a big incompletion, a game drive killing incompletion from Josh Allen. So I just think the linebackers look really good. Tanner Muse got in on the action late with 4. He had 4 tackles in total. So I really like what the Steelers were doing from the linebacker position. And I think that bodes really well for this team, given last year. Minka be able to play safety, not be playing this linebacker sort of position, this into the box linebacker position. We just really don't want that. So I was glad to see that wasn't something that's something that we've been able to fix. It's clear through camp and now 2 preseason games. Third thing on the list, Joey Porter Jr. Didn't he look good today? He looked real good. Now, obviously, in the interception in the preseason games, not his first interception in the league because it's not in the NFL, but he looked really good. I'm going to say this. Most people expect him to be a starting corner for the Steelers. Look at what Levi Wallace did in the starting defense. I've said several times, we've even got to be on this channel saying, was Levi Wallace the Steelers' most underrated player in the defense last year? And I thought he played really, really well. And that means it's going to be hard for Porter. Porter could be the best third man or best backup cornerback in the league this year. It's actually a pretty cool thing to think about. But definitely, obviously, press and man, he's going to be really important. He's going to be important in sub packages and what have you. I didn't love everything I saw out of Patrick Peterson, but new defense, just getting on the field, getting some kinks ironed out. That has got nothing to do with the fact that, yes, I do think Joey Porter could be the best third-ranked quarterback on the depth chart in the league, even though he probably will finish the season, hopefully, if he has a good year, as our second leading cornerback. All right, fourth thing on the list, and I got to speed it up now. The Steelers in this game did something that we haven't seen from them as much in the last couple of years, particularly since they used Mike Hilton. I'm not saying we haven't seen it at all. I just feel like I noticed it like a lot in this game, and that's rushing DBs. Right now, they you saw it from Elijah. You saw it actually in the first on the defensive stars on the field. Minka got in there, and that helped Levi Wallace to get that big tackle in the backfield. You saw Shannon Sullivan technically did it when he got that interception. If you look at the way he was rushing in, Elijah Riley did it, and I saw at least one other cornerback do this. They had some exotic blitz packages. There were also times when the defense lined up in a 4-4. I noticed that as well, when particularly with Highsmith on the field in the end of the second quarter, I think it was. But yeah, the rushing of the DBs is something that we haven't seen in a while. Necessarily the frequency that I saw it in this game. Maybe it was the schematic thing against the Bills with all their weapons, but the Steelers to be able to do that, that gives them versatility in dime, and I love it. Particularly because we didn't see a lot of Neil. Actually, I don't think I saw any of Neil. Now I come to think of it, but yeah, the rushing of the DBs, the rushing of the cornerbacks is something that's really, really important. I said DBs because of Minka and Elijah Riley, but it's interesting how much they're rushing the cornerback. All right. Mark has said it a lot this offseason. He did a cool video this week, which more of you should go check it out on Steeler Nation Australia, that Gunnar O will make the roster. Gunnar O will be the fifth, worst case, the sixth wide receiver. Now, he had some plays in the run game. He had one of those for 4 yards. You see him regularly. He's a stocky guy. He can block, but he had 5 receptions for 41 yards, a long of 13 on the day, 5 receptions off 7 targets. He can be a returner as well. He's on the roster, guys. He's the fifth guy behind Calvin Austin. Nothing more to say. He's there. He's doing it. And you know what? Just like we're giving Canada a redemption year, it's a Gunnar Olszewski redemption year as well. All right, final thing, the sixth reaction from 60 minutes of football. We're trying to keep this to 6 minutes as well, just to keep everything in line with the 6. Connor Hayward ate your heart out. He had the 2 receptions for 12 yards. He had the touchdown in the red zone. He looks good. They used him a bit in the run game last week. To actually rush the football. We probably wanted to see that, some of us as fans. I just love it, and I say eat your heart out because he's going to be a red zone option for them, particularly when you line him up. Imagine like a Najee back there. Then you've got Haywood, Washington, Freiermuth. You've got weapons. I absolutely love it. I love that Connor Hayward got his touchdown. People are gonna, whoever the Steelers quarterback is, they're gonna find a way to get this guy the football, and I loved it. And I think it was important that it came from Mitch Trubisky as well. So I think that was pretty important there. But hey, look, great to be back with everyone on Steelers Touchdown Under. Mark and I will be back with what we like to call the Mad Monday show, but we're back with our show that comes out on your Monday. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. That will be really exciting. I'm hoping to get back in the swing of things this week. Last week, you were meant to get the first of our rookie reports for the year, where I've analyzed the rookies from our team and the rookies from the opposition that we're playing. Unfortunately, with my COVID, I couldn't do it. This week, I will bring that back. We'll focus in on all the rookies midweek this week and look at what they need to do in week 3. And we'll look at some of the opposing rookies. And then that will be coming during the season as well. That also carries over from my War Room show back when I was with a podcast with Steel Curtain Network. Hope you enjoyed the chat with Shannon White on Friday night. Went live on Friday night with Mark Dean and Shannon White. If you missed that, go back and listen to it. It doesn't affect the fact that you've seen the Bills game. While they did some previewing of Bills, they talked all things Steelers. Always great to have Shannon White on our shows. Glad that he and thankful that he could fill in for me from that. And if you aren't a subscriber for the show, hit that sub button. You're going to get more, live stuff from us. You're going to never miss a piece of content. If you like this show, give it a like. Let me know some of your reactions from the game too. Always keen to hear from our fan base. But with that, as always, go Steelers.